Welcome to the show. All Things Bulldogs. Here we go, here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Blue and white pride. Bulldogs for life. Dogfather here. Gas by my side. To a show, All Things Bulldogs. Here we go, here we go. Here we go.
G'day, Doggies fans. My camera's gone off at the wrong time. How are we all? Michael will be joining us shortly. And that's good timing on the camera. That's okay, guys. How are we all? Good to see a few of you on so far. It's another game, another season on the line, which is awesome. Let's get this thing working. Sorry, guys. Let's see what's going on here. Camera settings. What's going on? Thanks for technology, guys. But hopefully you can hear me there. If you can, just let me know. While I get this thing sorted. Having some technical issues at the moment. Sorry, guys. Just trying to get all this stuff sorted. But Michael's just talking on the other podcast at the moment. He won't be too long. But just having a look at a few of the comments so far. So thanks for that, James. If you can hear me, you'll hopefully see me soon as I get this thing sorted. I might have to go for the secondary camera. You might see me that way. It's all right. We'll come back, guys. Get the other camera working. Yeah, so how is everyone today? Hopefully you're all okay while I get this thing sorted. But looking forward to another exciting game this week, guys. I'm not sure how many of you are going to see the game at Allianz this week, but should be a good game. All right, that should be on now. Let's have a look. All right, there we go, guys. Sorry for that. So we'll just go through a few of the comments. So Brenton Slick, welcome to Mike Gass and the Bullock community. Sorry to hear of the loss of Timmy. As a supporter of the game and would casually listen in when you guys play the Knights. Tim was always in the chat backing you 100%. He was all the time. And for everyone who's on here, everyone knows how consistent and how good Timmy was in his contributions. And, we had a good chat about that on Sunday. So very, very sad, the news about Timmy. Good evening, Lucas. Looking forward to a bounce back this week. Yes. It's tough when, you watch the game the other day and you think, how bad can we be? Like you look at the game and you just think, no point, you felt after we had those disallowed tries, you think we're not going to score any points. It's just not going to happen. And usually, the week after you're just thinking kind of like last time when we lost to Canberra and even like the games before, everyone thinking we're going to get smashed. And then we just usually come out the next week after that disappointing loss and we fire up and play well. So I'm hoping that we have that bounce back effect this time as well. So g'day, young fella. How you going, mate? Love your new profile image there, mate. Great support of our man Timmy. G'day, Doggy's family. James, you're watching him dribble some stuff on the other podcast. That's all right, guys. He's currently just talking some stuff on the Dragons one. He did mention we will be appearing tomorrow night together on that Dragons podcast, or he'll be putting it on here as well. So we are having, I think he said some type of debate. I got no idea, haven't been explained what's going on yet. So we'll have to brush up on our Dragons and Bulldogs knowledge. G'day, Scary. Yep, thank you, mate. G'day, Lorenzo. How are you, mate? Still feeling it from the drive from Bundaberg. Wow. 1,000 Ks in 12 hours non-stop. Crazy, mate. Crazy. Hopefully you're rested there, Sean, mate. And hopefully Dad's all right and everything's going okay, mate. So hopefully the trip was good. So that's okay. G'day, Sayed. Yeah, mate, looking forward to the game. Wish we could be there, but you'll be at work. That's okay, mate. You'll get home just in time for kickoff. So that's okay, mate. We'll myself and Aki will have our banner up there in the crowd, mate. Hopefully getting that team home, guys. All we can do is win our games and just pray that other results go our way, guys. And Timmy's praying for us too. So hopefully that gives us a bit more special stuff. G'day, Brian. Yes, mate. He's abandoned us. He's doing his dragon stuff. But I did tell him, because you know how Michael doesn't like talking a lot, right, guys? He doesn't say a lot. So I did say to him, just in case you're running over time, have this ready so we can get started, because the show must go on. If you're not ready, that's not our problem, guys. We need to keep going. So obviously he's still going over his allotted time that he's supposed to be on, which we understand. G'day, Aki. How you going, mate? All good, mate. So looking forward to the game this week, son. So just enjoying my last few hours as a 49-year-old before the midnight kicks in. He hasn't shut up, has he, over there? There you go. That's all right. I had him on there as well. I was trying to listen to him talk, but he's just saying a lot of the stuff that we all know, guys. For all of us, he's pretty much giving them a summary of probably 30, 40 podcasts that we've all listened to. So, and I suppose been a part of. Thanks a lot, Brian. Yeah, mate. Look, I've got the gear, guys. I'm hoping to get out to some of the cartel members as well. So, yeah, as soon as I get that, get myself organised, it might even be potentially around the funeral once we know when that is as well. So I'm kind of guessing that Timmy might be potentially up in that area, around the Penrith area. I don't know too much about the geographics up there, if they've got a cemetery, etc. But I'm guessing there must be something in that area. So we'll see how that goes, mate. Sean, Dad had another mini stroke yesterday, but he's out of the hospital after some tests. Nah, mate, look, hopefully he's okay, mate. Hopefully he's okay, mate. Those things, like we said, mate, on the other chat, spend as much time and do whatever you can for the loved ones around you. And, give them all that support. So I'm guessing we've all had a look at the team list today. So I will wait for Michael to come and contribute to his team list. No, all good, mate. No worries. Sorry, buddy. It's all good, mate. It's all good. But yeah, the good old team came out today. Was anyone surprised about that before we go into it? I don't think really there's going to be that many changes like that that should have happened, other than unfortunately Jethro out for the year. So that was a forced change. Yeah, to say thank you, mate. Hope your dad's recovering well, Sean. So g'day, Mike. How are you, buddy? Good to see you guys. Like we said, Michael's not far away. He's just entertaining the Dragon podcast for a bit, and he'll be over here. He'll be over here shortly. Some of our guys were over there entertaining him as well. So, yeah, look, I was probably in the same boat as you, Brian. I was hoping for Sewer as well to potentially come in for less disruption, potentially, just to keep him straight onto the wing and keep Tawala in the centres, which I thought was, was going to be a better option. But unfortunately, like at the moment, they've put Cherry in there, but who knows whether that might change later in the week. It still might. But we all know Seraldo is the master of the late switch. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But at the moment, that's the team that he's got in there. Spewing Cherry is in, should play anybody but him. Yeah. Look, and it wasn't really ideal the other day, the way that he came in as well. He didn't really, when we spoke about it, he didn't really do much, just did his usual crabbing across the field and stuff like that. So, there was an opportunity a couple of times where I felt like he could have found Karaz and he didn't. So, yeah, so it's just disappointing. But, he's got a lot of improvement, I feel like, to get his game up to a level where he can be, not so much a superstar, but just be a very, very consistent first grader. And high level and add that spark. Because at the moment, I don't feel like he's doing anything to break a line, to create something. He doesn't look for his outside men too well, stuff like that. So yeah, so that's some improvement. And look, and for those of you who are on here, know I've been talking about that since the start of the year. Even in the preseason, I said Cherry is the guy that has the most ceiling potential. We know he's got the speed. We know the way he played before his drug suspension. But has he done that since he's been back? I don't feel he has. I think he's just been a very safe player. He's been solid defensively, but nothing special in attack. He's had his moments in games, but he hasn't been that sort of flair and excitement machine that we sort of hope for with someone who's got speed to burn. And you know what? They always promise us the world when they talk about the Roger Fabry sprint training and all these sorts of things. So you kind of hope that you see the guy and he's busting through the line, he's putting on the speed, he's looking for people. Haven't seen that. I've just seen just that sideways, off the right, why he wants to be on that side, back off the left. It's just, yeah. So he's got a lot of opportunity with Bellamy next year to improve his game. Different approach, fresh look, different team. Hopefully he goes well. Once a Bulldog, guys, always a Bulldog. So, Sean, thank you very much, mate. Appreciate your support, mate. So we'll add that to the total when Michael gets back. There will be a draw if we hit the 200 today as well, with whatever carryover we have. We're still waiting to hear from Nicholas, last Tuesday's winner as well. He hasn't reached out yet. So if anyone's seen him, knows him, Nicholas Kane, we're still waiting on him. Chiru, g'day. How you going? Yep, you went on and had a look at Mike. Yep, no worries. All good. Bulldog Mike, welcome. No, don't be sorry, mate. It's all good. Mate, thank you, Lucas, for your support. I'm sure Michael will add that on there as well. We'll come back to him on that one. What's that? No, hideous one. Not sure I get that one, mate. Sorry, Mike. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you're talking about Cherry not want to be here anymore. I'm guessing that's what you might be talking about potentially. Big blow for Jethro. Yeah, 100%. I think his performances are more fan speculation than actual playing. His effort, he's having a go, going for the ball, doing all that sort of stuff. Look at the other day, guys, before he got injured. He was catching the bombs like at will, even the ones that were coming down for the other team. Like he was catching them both sides. And his games that he's had that he's played well, I mean, for a 20-year-old, have been amazing. And he's got so much learning still to do. And he's a sponge for learning. Like I said, when you talk to him, he's really open to learn and understand and look at new things. So he's got a young body, which happens, and he's copped another injury, unfortunately. He tried to stick it out in the second half. It didn't pan out, so they pulled him off after 2 minutes in that second half. So looks like he's gone for the year. So he won't be playing in the grand final. Maybe if we get the grand final, he'll be back. But let's see how we go, guys. That's how we got to keep thinking. Yeah, he's very one out, Cherry. Very one out. Yeah. So, is he even going? I'm not sure. Well, because Roger was his best mate, so I don't know. Roger was a very strong supporter of him in that period as well when he was down and out. They were very close. So who knows? Who knows? But yeah, they probably still do stuff. But yeah, maybe he's saving his money. I don't know. Redraw. If you haven't done the winners, I think all of us would want to honour ourselves if we won, wouldn't we? Maybe there's a timeline. Maybe who knows? But if they never come back, but yeah. G'day, Glenn. Hope you're doing well as well, mate. Yep, we're all going good. No, unfortunately, we still haven't heard back from Tracy about the funeral. So we have been waiting for that information. My guess at the moment is we're still waiting on the autopsy stuff to be completed and everything, and then they have to get everything organised. So what's today? Today's Tuesday. I don't know if anything will happen before the end of the week. Potentially, I don't know. Yeah, so unless if it doesn't happen, it might be hopefully next week. But we'll see how that goes. But as soon as we know something, we will definitely post it across all the channels, guys. So anyone who can make it, can come in as well. Hey, look who's decided to show up today. Hey, he absolutely smashed his Dragons, mates. Apparently, you didn't let them get a word in, mate. Is that true?
Usually, mate. Stop talking about him. He's here. G'day, James. G'day, Harley. G'day, everybody. Cool, David.
That's it.
He said, quick, hurry up and get back to the... He was on the Dragons thing. What she said, hurry up and get to your actual podcast or something.
That's it.
So they let me go. They couldn't wait to get rid of me. Oh, it's pretty nice to them. We're going to go head to head with Big T and Jesse tomorrow, Gas and I. So we'll be doing another podcast, which will be a dedicated preview where we'll just ask each other's questions and have a bit of banter and talk about why each team can beat the other.
Sounds good.
How we been going, guys? What's happening? What's on the
Good,
show
mate.
tonight?
Good. We've had Sean's back from up north. Dad had another stroke, but he's out of hospital again. He had a minor stroke again. But he has given you he's given you some donation there for support, and also I think it was Lucas that's also thrown something towards you on Pay ID as well, mate. So.
All right. Brian put his $10 in as well, so that means we're $50 there. We've got a $200 again. We'll keep it going, guys. Win some merch.
That's it. There was a comment there about a redraw because Nicholas hasn't showed up yet, but we're giving him a bit more time, so it's all good. He's still the rightful winner.
Well, considering it's my stuff, I'll just keep
that's
until
I
get hold of him. Once we do.
G'day, Knox Corvus. Welcome.
We just put some new merch up today, actually, and created a Spider-Man Bulldogs sort of polyester kids shirt.
In time for the new movie?
Yeah, I did the best I could. But it costs a bit for about $30 postage, though. That's the only problem. But it looks cool, and the inspiration behind it, he's bought himself one. He loves it. Old Brad. So... that's what we do. If someone wants something, I do my best to make it. And then,
we did have a chat a little bit about the team, a little bit. Cherry back in. We spoke about Cherry, as we've spoken about multiple times this year. Brian saying Cherry reminds him of a player like Tavita Pangai Jr. that just plays for the job, not for the love. Just for speculating, of course. Love him to prove me wrong for the rest of the year. Yeah, let's hope so.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that it's like, come on, you get out there and prove you're an NRL player at this club for the rest of the season.
Make us regret that you're leaving. That's what I want to see, guys.
Yes, regret.
You know, I want him to be leaving and going, oh, why did we let him go? That's what we want to see, isn't it? You know, after the fact.
Look, he can't fake it. You know what I mean? He can't fake not wanting to. Like, he can't fake pretending he wants to and then deliberately. He's not deliberately not doing it. It's just like, probably lacks that little bit of motivation. I think that's the fear. As much as he might not seem like that, I don't think it's a deliberate thing. But he was crabbing a lot on the weekend.
I think the other thing for him he has to try to appreciate is that he's got two super close friends in Karazin and Haywood that we all know. So those three are pretty much inseparable. He needs to look at it and say, well, this is potentially every game he plays is my last time that I'm playing with my two best mates. Whatever happens from here in the rest of his life, these guys are playing together. And I know that he's been kind of like embarrassed not to be around the team at the moment and not to be with those guys and being their best mates. If you can imagine yourself, you've got your best mates and you all do stuff together and all of a sudden one of you's on the outer and he's been training with the cup team and doing other things. So yeah. John, g'day, Mr. Brian. G'day. We will bounce back this week. Red V maybe winning, but that Tigers display was not NRL standard. Red V fell over the line.
Well, John, what I said to the guys in the Red Vs, they're the most it's hard to believe that the most underperforming top 30 in the roster, underachieving, is them. They've got 5 fullbacks with plenty of experience in their backline. They've got skill, they've got talent, they've got
speed,
and they've got one of the best junior forward packs going around. Now, I just don't know how they have lost so many games. So for people just to say they're shit, is probably... I'm not trying to build them up because we might not win. Okay? Maybe I am. I thought they were going to do much better this year than they have. And it just shits me that with teams like that, Raiders, Storm, Broncos, we're on everyone's lips every week and they just think they can flip-flop. On this show, we're going to continue to name the people. We'll keep receipts forever. Not because we're bitter, because I just want to... It shits me that people get to cheer on our guys like they're the best supporters of all time, yet they spent most of their living life hanging shit on our players. It just drives me insane, almost to obsession. But tomorrow night, Gas and I are going to get to work. We're going to make it entertaining for you guys. We will... We'll be kind to Big T and Jesse. You know, they can hold their own. They're good blokes. But look, the Dragons are... We've got some stats from Dave that we'll show you as well, but they have been in our bin longer than any club's been in the bin to any other team. And we need to keep that going. So I can't cop. I'll be pretty pissed off if our boys go out there and don't treat this like a grand final. If there'll be none of this, they've got an eye on the following week against Penrith. There's no eyes anywhere on any week but this week. Now, that was supposed to be last week, but I can actually justify that because after watching the game again, the 10 metres weren't the same, but I felt they ran a little bit harder anyway. They had numbers everywhere they went. Every time we made a half gap, there was players in numbers against us. We can't be seeing that this week. So we need to turn the screws on this Dragon side and then show them the reason that they're so far behind the competition and remind them of that. I think when push comes to shove, there are players in their lineup that will give up. And we have to make sure that we are doing that. And I expect to see Jacob Preston have a big game this week. All of them, actually. I'm not 100% convinced Cherry's going to play either. I named that 17. I put the predicted 17 out there. I said that's exactly what they're going to do. You can go see it. It's everywhere. The only difference is that they've put Jed Reardon in instead of, I think I put Alex Conti in at 23. That's the only difference in the squad. I think there's a chance that Sewer or Reardon or O'Sullivan comes into calculation somewhere. And they actually go and do that. But yeah, look, Sean O'Sullivan, we've talked about him a lot. He's been playing really well in New South Wales Cup, but still has a lot of bad moments. And when I say that, just moments that I wouldn't expect Critter or Galvin to have in that grade, right? But in saying that, if he gets a go, I hope he just plays really well and kills it and proves the people that have been saying he should be there 100% right. Because I've never written him off. I'm just saying I trust the other guys more. That can't tell people who to trust. And I can base that trust on the fact that I've watched him play 20 times this year. Whereas, and I've watched a lot of his other games, whereas most people talking about him have seen, 2 games or something. So, yeah, I'll trust my pool on theirs, and I'll back myself with that. But, I hope he proves everyone right that's been backing him and proves me wrong every day of the week. And I think there's a chance he could get a go. I think there is a chance for that. And And maybe he's tuned to the minute to have. Maybe they've been planning for him to come in this week as well. I thought Sam Hughes might be a chance of playing this week too, or coming back or doing something, because I heard somebody mention that he said he'd be back for the Dragons game.
I thought they said Panthers. Week. I thought they said Panthers, but
was it Panthers? Was it?
I thought so, but for me,
could be.
What I will say is at training last week, he didn't even run with the boys at all. Zero. Nothing. Not even so he wasn't doing anything at all. So that tells me that he's not that close.
Oh, okay. He's just talking.
Yeah, if you're at least, even if you're running and doing something, all he was doing at the end was just a few passing things. That's it. Nothing, but he couldn't do anything more than that. So,
so he's got a neck injury or something.
Yeah. So that tells me he's still a bit on ice and not doing too much. So, yeah. So that's for me. But that's
a comment from James. Have you seen the Broncos? Well, I'd say yes. The Broncos are the biggest underperforming team in the competition this year. You're right. I'll correct myself.
With their roster. Yeah.
But Dragons should have been competing for the 8 this year, especially with the fact that they had that all under their belts. They're going to get payoff if they keep sticking with these kids. So be ready for that, guys. But so are we. So if we just stick by the club and the process, they're going to try and if there's someone there that they can buy that's got that creative edge, that'll add something to us in the outside backs or in the spine, they'll be all over it. If there's not, they're just going to keep trying to. I think they've bought 4 or 5 under 19 state reps from that are fullback players and stuff. They've bought props that are really high quality from Queensland and this sort of thing. As I said, they got Finn Alatu, Lachlan Galvin, Logan Spinks. They all played in the Australian schoolboy side together. That's what Gus has always said. And the biggest common denominator for all the teams doing well is what? Where are the majority of their squad from? They're from their own club, or they came into their club young and they developed them. And that's what we're moving to. And whatever happens between now and then is a bonus in my eyes. And yeah, all this bullshit. Oh, it's professionals. If I go to my work and I don't perform, I'm under pressure, blah, blah, blah. Fuck me. There's bloody, it's entertainment. It's hard. And the rules are fucked too, guys. Look, JB was saying this today, and I had a real good think about it. And Tony brought it up as well. They were talking about Metcalf's injury, and Gas was there chatting about it as well, and Mike. And I said, yeah, like it's just, I think the words Joby used is quite good. We're a competition that's expecting everyone to be super strong and super athletic at the same time, and we're the only sort of sport that does it. A crop for every player in that sport. You know, like NFL's got really athletic players, but it has really strong players that don't do the same, that have really distinct roles in their games. And our game is just so demanding and getting more demanding. And you can just see, like, it's so hard for clubs you go and spend $1 million on a player to try and help you lift yourself out of the cellar. And then he gets injured again for the 15th time in the last 4 years. What? Can't believe that. That's why you got to look at Gus and go, what was the headlines on Code Sports today? That he has created a Frankenstein roster. All of his doing, which has made it hard for Cameron Serrato. I want someone to dare tell me they're right. Because I've never heard so much bullshit in my life.
Yeah.
NRL 360 last night was an absolute abomination. Dean just, oh yeah, they're gone. They're fucking gone. And this has been a shit, you know. And next year, they don't know what team they're going to have. They're just as likely to have Galvin and Crichton in the halves or just start with a whole new combination again. Yeah, that's what they've got to do to stay competitive until they develop quality into our top 30, and they've had those guys sitting there on the edge ready to go. And then, unfortunately, Mitch Woods could only play 50 minutes in New South Wales Cup this year. But he was the guy that they were hoping to make his debut and to bring him up for a few games, take him and get him on that journey. Now, it's worked out well for an Alex Conti because he's got that development there. And he's put himself in the picture now, and that's really good for us as well. So Critter wasn't an experiment, guys. Critter was a deliberate move by the coach to say, all right, Birdo, let's take the shackles off you a bit. Let's get you involved in other ways, get you chasing the ball, get you mixing things up, reinvigorate yourself. Critter, you just need to get your hands on the footy as much as you can. Keep working on all this stuff. Keep talking with the boys. And what did he start doing as soon as he came into the team? He started putting little kicks in again, asking questions with kicking. We went from no tries from kicks to getting 3 or 4 tries from kicks, but scoring more points out wide because there was the threat of the kick. All right? So there's all this sort of stuff that he brought in. Having 2 people playing short. Just having a bit more communication and stuff out there, and taking a bit of pressure off Birdo. But this is all an investment, and the payoff is going to be big time. It's going to be massive. And I just hope people are strong enough just to allow them to keep doing what they got to do. Because it's not going to be easy, because with those 2 new sides and 3 new sides by 2020, it's going to be hard to keep some of these kids that we really want to keep to be a part of that. So, look, they may be forced to spend money on someone else in our spine or something. They might have to do that. But they're not going to go out there like Peter Moore used to do and just go and buy 5 high-quality players that are second or third best in their position all at once. That doesn't happen anymore. And we've got to stay under the cap. So
James has been a member for 9 months. Stop talking about him. He's here. Yeah, mate, we stopped quickly, mate. G'day, Harley. Love the doggies. Yes, he's back. G'day, Ziad.
G'day, brother.
Got you sorted for the weekend, mate. So they're all good. Nice work on the Dragon podcast, mate. This is our year, hopefully. Yeah, it's still not dead, mate. Still not dead. There's a heartbeat. That's it.
G'day, Tony.
G'day, Tony. I think you were keeping an eye on Michael Weir. Did he behave over there, mate? Ignore the chats above me. I definitely wasn't talking shush about you. Haha.
That's brilliant.
That's all right. He won't go back. He won't go back and read them, mate. Don't worry. The red V Joe. He knows him personally.
Takes one to know one, Joey, doesn't it?
Not another bean counter, is he?
He was all right. He was going, oh, that Mick's a pretty good bloke. I was in the backstage when they didn't know I was still there. I was listening to him.
Yeah.
Too bad he's a Bulldog supporter, or we might have to like him. I'm like,
G'day, Mick. Hope you're doing well. From Glenn.
G'day, Gleno.
Rhett's in the house. I was watching the same stream the whole time, but it was the Dragons podcast. No, that's all right, mate. We'll forgive you, mate. You saw Michael's face and you gravitated, mate. We'll forgive you.
That's it, bro.
G'day, Marats. We may have lost the Rabbitohs, but don't worry. If we win this game, then we can make the top 8. Yes.
That's it, brother. Believe.
Yes. There'll be no more off-season Lebanon trips for Cherry. That's it.
We'll be going to Turkey.
That's it. Oh, well, it worked for Hayward. He's marrying a Lebanese girl, so that's all good. He went on the trip as well.
She might become the third cog. Bailey, his missus, and Carraz.
Yeah. Well, Carraz is getting married as well, so
that's all right.
So Hayward and Carraz will both be doing the double dates soon if they're not already.
Him and his wife do a lot of stuff, or fiance do a lot of stuff on social media. I think for some business.
There you go. Hopefully, no silly offloading this week from Carrer's. Been a bit off lately. Yeah,
Well-
just loss of confidence sometimes. Just trying to get the team going because that's what worked in the past. He was the one that got us going with second phase. So he got a bit desperate, but other teams have started to really focus on it and get themselves in position to stop him and slow him down. And when he was trying to do it, they were trying to rip the ball out as well.
Your players get worked out after a while. That's what happens. It's like we can move Crows to fullback, but you know what? They'll work him out, and then it'll be harder for him for a while. And he'll have to evolve from it.
Mm-hmm.
Players just aren't automatically. Yeah, he will evolve his game again. He will go, what are they seeing? What else can I do? What do I do really well? How do I keep doing that? What can I do a little bit better? You know,
he'll start running without offloads, and then eventually, when they feel like he's not going to do it, he'll crack it, bang. The other pod saying that this and that trying to bring down the Dogs to their level. That's all right, mate. That's all right. That's why they're going for the spoon this year. Karaz, please no offloads. Just play your natural game. Yeah, let's see.
What happened to our other podcast friends? They're not going again tonight.
From Premiership to slight chance, not sure, mate. Don't know about them. Slight chance of the spoon. Has that ever happened with basically the same roster?
Never happened. Never in the history has it been as bad as this. It's the worst fall from grace you've ever seen in your life. So,
he's a big invite to everyone. Don't make me run full of chocolates. He's hosting a massive Lebanese barbecue when Ashley Klein retires. And if they coincide it with Sutton as well, that may be something that we have to do at Belmore, something big. So get the butchers in Belmore ready. I can suggest one to you, but yep, get the butchers ready.
The Sutton sausage.
The Happy Family Butcher.
It's never on side.
I missed the kickoff, but I'm fresh off the bench. Yeah. Oh, you missed a lot, mate. You missed a lot. So you'll have to catch up, Matty. Could there be a late change with Critter moves to the centres, Bronson to the bench, and O'Sullivan to 6?
Potentially, and there's potential of all of that, 100%. If it doesn't happen, I'm happy. I just want them to go out there and play well.
I think if you look at somebody put a stat up the other day and said, look at the top 8 or the whole competition in the last 10 rounds. And the Bulldogs were in the 8 in the last 10 rounds. And if they actually looked at it 2 weeks ago, before we played the Roosters, we would have been in the top 4 in the last 10 rounds if they did a snapshot then. So that the team that we've got with Critter playing the way that he was, etc., they're the ones that got us out of the situation we were in. They're the team that played against everyone that we had to beat and get through and do what we had to do to get us in that position. So I don't know, you have a bad game or, the week before we should have won. We all know that. But last week we just didn't get off to the best start with regards to on the scoreboard. And then we fell behind and that was it. And then the second half, the kickoff killed us and that was it. We never recovered. So he doesn't have to keep changing too much. It's not so required that you make all these. Everyone's naming a team online now, and they're putting about 15 changes to the team, and thinking that they're the ones that are going to solve the problem. It doesn't work that way, guys. You don't just drag in all these new players and think that's the changes you have to make. And I don't think he'll be changing the halves the way they are at the moment. There's nothing wrong with the halves the way they are at the moment. The only changes he's making at the moment are necessitated at the moment. But at the end of the day, guys, he is on he's very frustrated. Some players, need to do something that they haven't been doing or should be doing. And he can see that, and they've been working on that. But his frustration levels are very high at the moment. And if they do hypothetically get knocked out this week, or even if they win, but if the opportunities for them to go through are gone, he may make a late change to a later game, maybe the game against Broncos or whoever. Who knows what he does? And just to show someone that he's not happy with their performance, and bang, you can rest this one. But at the moment, I think he sticks with his best team and trusts that they're going to have enough in them to get the result, keep us alive, and go to the next game against Penrith and then try to do the same thing and then try to go to Broncos and do the same thing and hope that other results work in our favour and then we can enjoy some finals footy. But at the moment, I don't think that there's going to be all these massive, big sliding changes, guys. He's already shown that through the year by the fact that who he trusts is who he's keeping in the team. And if he loses trust with someone, then they won't be there. So here's a question for you, mate.
Anyway, you can cover some stuff on a junior by the name of Wesley Papali-Afoa. Now, Wesley Papali-Afoa, I'm pretty sure he's a winger. Would I be correct in saying that?
Wellington might be a relative of some sort. So can you shed any more light on that, Wellington?
Yeah, what you can do, if you can send a message to the Dogfather on Facebook, just with who he is, let us know all about him. I'm pretty sure was in the SG ball side this year. 100% sure of that, actually. And I think he's playing this week. So let's have a quick look. Sorry, guys. Might be too long. I did want to answer one of the other guys as though who just put a comment down. Where's it gone? Draw news. Anyway, what's the next one?
Wellington Rodriguez, let us know how you go, mate. Thank you. No excuses this week. That's right, Andy. Maddie, if you listen to 360, you get what you deserve, and that's why I don't listen to 360 anymore. So there's no punishment on that side because I know what's going to come before you even watch it, guys.
Wesley's playing. Yeah, he's playing Jersey Flegg this week on the wing, and he definitely, I'm 100% sure he was playing in the SG ball side this year. Pretty tall, good finisher. Had a mixed start to the season. He may have been injured, or I don't think he's played every week, but he's getting his opportunities now, and looks like a player of the future. Sheldon Hayward's back this week as well after his head injury in his debut for New South Wales Cup a couple of weeks ago.
There you go.
If you listen to 360, you get what you deserve. That's it.
Have you got any NRL socks on? No.
Still haven't got the socks on yet? No. Do you want socks, Marley? If you want
Marley
socks.
Wants the socks. Our coach has said he meets with players. If he likes them, they meet with Gus to see if there's a possibility to sign them. And that's always been the way, guys. There's a certain cultural element and player want that they look for. If the player doesn't fit into the vibe of what the coach is looking for, then they just dismiss it. There's no point in pursuing any further. And we've spoken about it.
I'll take this one, Gas, because I've spoken directly on how this works.
Yeah, go for it.
Very similar to what Gas is saying, but it's probably is a little bit more process driven. So essentially, there's Serrato will meet with every single player that comes up. Usually managers are going to contact Gus, or Gus is going to speak to managers first rather than them going straight to Serrato or whatever. Obviously, they talk about people that are out there. They look at, they're all doing their thing. They've got recruiters all coming through. So it's a whole process the way it works. And as Gas said, there has to be an alignment. If Serrato says no, it's not going to happen. But if Serrato says, I want to keep a player, and Gus is like, well, we can want to keep him all we want, but is he going to take 300 grand pay cut and play for 150, or is he, there's that other side to the process, but there's also the board getting involved. So board members go and meet. Chairman goes and meets with players. Vice chairman goes and meets with players with the coach or with different members. Like they'll invite other coaches as well to come along, especially for the younger guys. So there's a whole process to it, and the process decides. If they're not aligned, well, they then say, well, why aren't we aligned? What's holding us back? They'll discuss it. And it's not this case of who's got the biggest ding-a-ling. If there's concerns on getting a player, you're just not going to bring him into the organisation. Simple as that. So all these people just sit there and say Gus hires and fires everyone and it's a Gus show and all that sort of stuff. That's just a fantasy. It's just a narrative. It's just something that people accept as truth and as historical fact when it's, in some cases, yes, but no more so than any other person who's ahead of football or anywhere else. Like there's a genuine process involved and there's a whole review process, and the process itself will make certain people redundant within it. People who create the process can make themselves redundant. It's a business. And there's a review right now that the club knows what it needs. And as I said the other night, the club's not going to sit there. The coaches are going to sit there and tell players that, you know, you're not good enough or we need better than you. They're going to tell them you are everything that we have right now and you are the best. You are better than this player and we will win a comp if you do your role properly and all this sort of shit. But in the background, they know they probably need someone to step up in a bit more of a creative player, a bit more natural flair in one position here and in a position there. I do want to get next to what's his name? Amir said two questions here. Bronson Cherry, a bit of bad luck charm this year potentially, and I just feel the Dogs have gone a bit stale this year with certain players. The orange has been squeezed. I can agree with that, but the players you've named, Tracy Salmon, Kurt Mann, I disagree with all three of those players have had the orange squeezed out of them. I think that from an injury point of view, Salmon has had his best season since arriving, and statistics say that 100%. He's in every statistic. He's playing more minutes. He's contributing more per minute while he's out there, and he's doing whatever role he's told to do for the benefit of the team. And yeah, a couple of weeks ago, he dropped the ball. And then he dropped another ball after they'd given away our challenge through stupidly going for a challenge with high risk and no return sort of thing on it anyway. Probably got a bit cocky and ahead of themselves and a real lesson out of that. And Gus said that was a turning point and he was right. So, yeah, you can tick Salmon off your list. Tracy has to play at a certain level. He cops it like a Mack truck from that defensive line. He's not paid as a top 12 fullback in the game. He's paid under that. So what do we expect? And he is the best option we've got. Yeah, Karaz can come in there and do a job. Tawala could probably go in there and do a job. Crichton can go in there and do a job. Do you reckon? How long do you reckon Karaz would last to play fullback to Burden? I don't know how many games he could survive doing that. Give him a preseason, get him doing it a bit more. Maybe he could, because being that bigger body and his skills have got a little bit better and he'll draw him more attention, has got that ability, deceptive speed, has got that ability that he's hard to tackle and stuff. And if he works on that passing game and creative game, yeah, he could do the job. 100% believe he can. Just like he's going to go and do for Lebanon at the end of the year. And he'll do a wonderful job. But playing week in, week out, Connor Tracy's been the man. Yes, he was timid. Yes, he struggled in that period when he was injured. But I believe this run that we were the top 4 team in the comp up until the Roosters game or the Souths game, he was one of the main reasons behind that. He played consistent rugby league and was scoring daily end points, and you'll see it at the end of the year for what he was doing.
The only thing for Tracy, before you just go to Kurt Mann, the only thing for me on Tracy that I feel like he was down on this year was his try assists. So if you look at the last 2 years, he had 11 in 2023 and 12 in 2024 and 12 last year. So that's 23 in 2 years. This year's only had 4. So that's the only thing for me, I think, where his game, he hasn't his run meters have been close. You know, he's only just below last year, but he's ahead of 2024. Everything else, his numbers look good, but that's for me the only difference. And I think maybe those early in the year, there was a couple of intercepts, things like that, where he just lost his confidence as well. And I think that set him back a bit, I felt, as well. And we were trying to play a different game plan as well, yeah.
I talked about that with the Mad V podcast. He threw a couple of early intercepts at the start of the year, but also suggests that we didn't have the same possession in that run either that we'd had in other years. We were the number one possession team and the number one defensive side from the start of those seasons all the way to the end of the seasons, where I think we ended up second or third at the end of 2024 because we had 2 blowouts in the last 2 games.
Last 2 games, yep.
And we were number one last year defensively for the entire season. So that means you had more possession. When you got more possession, you create more opportunities and you're going to score more tries. And we score more tries. So I don't think we've had the same opportunities. And you're probably right. He hasn't been used as effectively and he did lose a bit of confidence. But all roads lead to the team thing, which is what I always say. It's like we win every time Max King gets 150 metres. Peter Warburton, good bloke, real hardhead, told me, keep saying that. That's a fact. But guess what? He doesn't make 150 metres in games where we're not dominating possession and dominating field position because prop forwards tackle in those games and they don't really make many yardage runs unless they're Payne, Huss or in the top 5 forwards in the game. And I think there's a case that Max, through that period, was potentially in the top 3 or 4 because of the game. But in games where we're not winning it out of our own end, where we're not, if you go back and watch that Souths game and even the Roosters game, our defensive intent was great for the first 3 or 4 tackles, but there was probably 5 or 6 sets in both of those matches where we went to sleep on the 4th or 5th tackle. And when we went to sleep, the opposition team were ready for it and took full advantage of it. And not even just with a late offload, guys, just through what they'd been working on against our team and knew we were going to do. So they exposed holes in us, and that set us back in those games where we were keeping them to like 20 metres or 15 metres off their first 3 or 4 plays and then ended up conceding 40 metres in a lot of those sets. And that has a huge effect on things. So talking about a preview for this week, we need to make sure that the Dragons aren't exploiting us on those 4 or 5 occasions through the match where we sort of go to sleep and don't continue with the dominant stuff that we do in the start of the games, because you can see the guys dragging them back and doing it for as long as they can in a game. But it all falls away as soon as one person slackens off from marker or one person gets caught out at marker or one person goes the wrong way at mark. It usually happens from there.
And they got Jacob Little as well, who's been playing 50, 60 minutes at the moment with Cook, the captain, on the bench. So he doesn't need any invitation to take an opportunity like that. So,
and Cook will come on and do the same when he's tired.
Exactly. So he's got the speed to burn there as well. So if you want to go on to Kurt Mann now, mate, sorry for that.
Yeah, Kurt Mann's played a lot less minutes this year. They've had to manage him. And there was a couple of games through that middle part where I noticed it more with Kurt Mann when we were winning games, funnily enough. There were some games where we started really well and then he was sort of coming on after Salmon and with the young forwards and didn't sort of straighten it up. But the last couple of weeks, he's been getting back to that really good foot, more direct through the middle. And then once he does that, they start to sort of prepare for it because he runs it with good speed. And then he's able to bring it back and change the point of attack again. And he's important for us because when we are struggling, he's someone who can mix things up in the middle and get us on a roll purely through his agility and ability to get away from players. But if he starts running 2 sideways, which he started doing through the middle of the year. Yeah, so look, I remember he is known as one of the biggest hunters in the game. So on the second contact a lot of the time, he just throws that shoulder into the ribs and into the solar plexus and into the livers and kidneys and wherever else he can do damage. And players are looking out for him over every other player in the team. That's why he's called Killer, right? It's probably not why he's called Killer, but that's why I call him Killer. So,
and don't forget, guys, he's still having a good crack, and this is his 14th NRL season, guys.
He deserves all the raps in the world.
14th season in NRL, and it took for his 13th season to make a debut for Origin, just to show you where he's at in his game, in a winning Origin that year too, for Queensland.
But I think there has been some juice squeezed from the team as a whole, a little bit, and I think Kurt has struggled to play as many minutes this year.
Yeah.
But Jamin, the stats and everything say everything else possible. He is gone playing longer minutes and doing way more statistically, more meters, better post contact. Some of his passing's been better than the halves half the time, so people can hate him as much as they like. I know the truth.
And this year, the fact that we've been the hunted guys is playing on our minds as well. Like the guys, when they're favourites, it's telling at the moment for them. They're actually playing a lot better when they come in as an underdog. If you look at the results this year, when they come in as an underdog and they're not the favourites, they actually free up a bit. There's less expectation, and then they can go out there and just play their game.
We've said that 100 times this year, though.
Danger games, exactly. Danger games for them are the ones where they're expected to win. Everybody in Vegas expected us to win by 40 or 50, and then when we didn't, they weren't celebrating the win that we had, and that was demoralizing. Like, you just had this amazing golden point win after a massive build-up. We just scraped in against the Dragon. Oh, hang on a sec. Look at the season, guys. Broncos are coming second last. Every game of NRL is tough. Doesn't matter who you play. Anybody can beat anybody. That's the way that the game is these days. Titans beat Penrith. Anyone can beat anyone, guys. So that's the NRL. So you have to celebrate every win and appreciate it. None of this, we won ugly and this and all this. Mate, that's just the way NRL is. No one can play perfect every single game. It doesn't work that way. It's great in a perfect world, but it's not a perfect world, guys. So, yes, Woods is going to America, apparently with Red Bull. He's going over there to get some special help on those soft tissue injuries he's been suffering. So,
I got told Saturday morning he was going to America. The article that came out later that afternoon said it could be Austria as well. But I was told it was America directly.
There you go. Matty, we also need Critter to play 6 just to justify his salary as well. He'd be close to 7 figures, and you can't pay that for a centre.
Well, let's talk about that quickly, Matty. Look, I think you're on the right track there with that. What I would say, though, he is a goal-kicking centre, and he is a captain. And I think Mao Meninga, with the same sort of similar sort of influence, wasn't always obviously the influence in games, but then in big moments, Mao would do some big things, and he kicked goals and stuff. So, and he'd be on $1 million if he was playing rugby league in this time as well. But look, you can have a Critter at a 1.1 million if you've got Tracy at 500 and your hookers on 300 and something. Like, you can. That it's not ideal though. Gus would prefer that the players that are helping you score all the points are getting the majority of the money, and then it's basically a system, Your juniors give you value, and you have your senior player there and your up-and-comer in the other position. So your senior centre and then your secondary centre. Your senior winger and your secondary winger. And then someone coming through on the juniors paid a little bit less. Your senior edge back rower, your secondary one. Then you got your utilities. It's all relative. Your senior prop, your up-and-coming prop, who's going to take over that man at some point. Or you just bring as many players as you can through at the same time, and you're covering those major spine positions as well, which is what ended up happening at Penrith and It's happened at quite a lot of teams. And then usually they just have to go and buy one sort of special player to make it all stick together from outside or whatever. So who's that for us? I don't know. Who's up next?
Andy Sage. I understand you can't win them all, but this game is about making a blitz.
Well, that's what we want. I'm not 100% confident it's going to happen, my friend.
Team that's
I want that just as
row.
much. I want us to make a stand and to go out there and annihilate the Dragons and show everyone what we can do.
Yeah.
That's what I want. But I don't always get what I want.
And that's what the coach will want too, guys. That's what he'll be instilling in the players after that performance last week on a, basically they called it the elimination final. That's how it was looked at, guys.
Yeah.
To put that kind of performance in where you weren't even a chance to win the game, really, that would be kicking at them seriously. So it would be hurting them so bad. So, you can imagine how the intensity is going to be this week, guys. I really don't want to be the opposition this week if they bring what they're supposed to bring.
And that's why they know they need some more creativity to develop through, because our system works so hard that you have to have some sort of payoff in the game. And we've seen clearly that when the payoff hasn't been there, even when they've been patient and haven't taken too many risks and just fallen short, or then got ahead of themselves and thought, well, we're all over this team. We saw it. And then all of a sudden they're behind. They're making a comeback in a couple of games. And then they almost get there, and then it goes away from them again. They get a lead in a game, and then the other team nearly comes back into it and looks threatening, and then they have to go away again. That's our team at the moment. And it's not because they've got a bad coach or bad strategies. It's because there's obviously they haven't had the cattle with the confidence and the peak fitness at times when they've needed it. Sometimes they've probably left they've left a lot of tries out there this year too, more than I've seen. Yeah. So
and that's worked against them.
It's played on their confidence as well. It's played on their confidence, and they just can't seem to just have a game where they even the 30-0 win over the Tigers didn't feel like a
smashing,
like a party that it should have been. You know what I mean? And I don't blame anyone for that. I just think that it's just a reality at the moment, and it was always going to be like that, as much as I didn't want it to be. I'm having a bet each way, but that's all right. I can have a bet each way if I want. I can sit there and say, yep, they can win a comp, but I wouldn't be surprised if they finish bottom 4. Now, I'm not going to say that, but I feel I've felt that all season, and they've fallen below expectation. Yes,
well, that's the line we've been walking all year, unfortunately, and the injuries that we've had this year haven't helped as well. The style of the game hasn't helped. There's a lot of factors to it, but we've been the recipients. And then the luck factor, I take that as a factor as well. We've had a lot of 50-50 calls go against us, and that's just whether it's poor refereeing or whatever it might be, or decisions or things that have happened. And you switch them around. Every game you switch one call around the other way, and some of those results could have been different. We could have been different. We could have been sitting comfortably in the 8 now. It's just the way it is. The boys build confidence. They can play that way. It's hard to keep playing chasing, catch-up, sudden death footy every week, which is what we've been doing pretty much for the last 2 months. So, Maddie, it was a kick in the guts and the nuts to hear about Timmy. I never met him, but he was one of us, 100%, mate.
Thanks, Maddie.
Yeah, very, very sad. So,
and shout out to Maddie as well, because he's struggling as well. And thoughts are with you, mate. His mum's in the ICU as well at Gold Coast. So,
hope she's okay, Maddie. Hope she pulls through, mate.
We're thinking of you, brother.
G'day, Jason. How you doing? G'day, David. Up the dogs. It's the Mick and Gas cooking up on the podcast. That's it, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Firing on all cylinders. Imagine if Leo wasn't injured for the first 10 rounds, we would have been top 8 because he's playing well.
It would have definitely helped.
made a difference, yeah, especially when we lost 5 in a row.
Mm.
Can we start a GoFundMe to get Sutton to retire early? Is that just to pay for the barbecue? Because we're not going to give it to Sutton.
He's still paying off Ashley Klein's bookie, so that's not going to happen.
Bronson bet, you already read those ones earlier. Okay, I disagree, Matt. You can pay that for a goal-kicking centre that can turn a game like he did against the Raiders, plus all his other big moments he's had throughout his career so far. Yeah, 100%.
You've got to make savings in other areas.
As long as you've got the offset. As long as you've got the offset, that's where juggling the books and the players you've got. But
if he doesn't play well, though, that's a problem.
The only thing for me is sometimes you don't want it to be at the expense of the spine. That's where I think the best teams maybe get it right potentially. So.
It's some pretty good spines are sitting down the bottom of the frigging table this year. I will say
they got too much.
That are on top money.
They got too much. But look, if you said to me that we'd win the comp last year and finish close to the wooden spoon this year, I would have actually taken that. I don't know about you guys, but I'd take a premiership season after 22 years and then have a letdown the year after. That's okay, but I would take a premiership though for that. So, Brian, I've got 20 to kick you off if you can retire him. There you go. Matty's on the ball. Hypothetically, when or if Conti or Woods do settle into the 7, what does the starting 1 to 7 look like with the current lineup of players?
Well, the current lineup of players, I don't expect that Carraz will still be there. So I'm going 2 years, 3 years ahead now. I'd expect to see Rinakama there, Carraz, one of the young fullbacks coming through, not sure which one. Potentially Carraz at fullback or Crichton at fullback. Who knows? Maybe they get their bodies right and they can handle it. More likely a youngster. I really like young Sheldon Hayward coming through. He's like a real man. Obviously not. Marcus Iacopo, very strong player as well. So that's what I mean. A lot of these players we expect to be staples probably just aren't going to be there. As far as the halves go, I'd be very confident to suggest that Woods and Conti could be filling that position with Conti at 7 and Woods at 6. Because I think Woods would potentially be a better 6 than Conti, and maybe also a slightly better 7 than Conti. Slightly,
and don't discount Woods as a fullback as well.
Well, that's been my thing.
If Galvin was still in the halves with Conti, for example.
Now, Rennie Mature said that Galvin could play fullback, and I think he also said Burton before, and I think Galvin's more of a thing, but I don't know what he's like under the high ball, but he is very fit and he likes to run. So that's a pretty good, and he can ball play a bit.
Yep.
So, and he's learned to organise. So maybe there's a chance he could do that as well. But I could also see him playing 13 within 3 years as well and being really good at it. So when we talk about our back line there, I think they're the names that I would be we'd most likely see.
Yep.
I don't think Burton's there in 3 years' time. I see potential for a small extension still. There's another 2 teams to come into the comp, which means that there'll be teams in Sydney that'll have money because they're going to lose players. So they might be like, yeah, we can pay 900 for Matt to play 6 or centre. We don't care. Just get him here to kick goals and do whatever. Bring that boot to us. Where we might be like, oh, we can only afford 7. As much as that sucks, he's still young. Even having this conversation, I get a pain in the gut. Sorry, guys, just having a cough lolly because I've done a lot of talking.
Okay. I know Carraz will pick up. He's my favourite player. I'll never want him there.
I love Carraz.
Yep. Gus crunches the numbers. Does Burton take centre money beyond 2027? Might have to put money in the spine. Yeah, look, that's up to Matty Burton, guys. He will be offered what we're going to potentially value him at in the position he's playing, but it's going to be up to him whether he wants to hang around or not for that as well. At the end of the day, so
and he'll
Gus
decide.
made that quite clear. Gus made that quite clear.
But he'll decide where he plays and for how much.
That's it. James, have faith in Carraz. He does throw up the odd average game, but he more than makes up for it 99% of his other games. I love that bloke. Yeah, mate, he's a goer.
No one should be writing him. No one should be writing him off.
Yeah,
but I do. But what the only reason I've mentioned Carraz is that it's just unfair that all the other blokes cop it for any time they make a mistake or any time we lose. They're the scapegoats. When Jacob has actually made errors that he would be owning and feeling fucking terrible about.
And he did. When I spoke to him at one of the training sessions, I said to him, mate, you've been killing it with your offloads. I said, because obviously, I said since you've come back, I said you've been creating that second phase play. We were standing there having a chat, and he's like, yeah, but I've stuffed some things up. It was still hurting him. So forget all the great that he's done. It was hurting him that he's made those mistakes and, had a couple of those one-on-one strips and got a few of the offloads away that he shouldn't have. There was a couple he was trying to do, where he almost let teams, back in the game when they didn't have to, just before halftime, etc. So that's on his mind. He knows that. But at the moment, I think they've got the license by the coach to have a go, to play that offloading game and create that second phase. So they think, well, if we're okay to do it, this is what we need to do to win. That's what we need to do. So the more desperate they become, the more they try it. Last week got out of hand for them, unfortunately. Like there was 3 or 4 intercepts against those. So, Huna, welcome, Huna.
See you, Huna.
See you, Huna. Welcome and goodbye.
That make you feel good, Huna?
He's a bit of a hoon. Why not Birdo at fullback? He's got speeds, creative. I think it would be a game changer. He actually struggles at the moment running that high level at the moment with a big body. We've spoken about big body fullbacks in the past. It hasn't always been well. If you look at the most successful fullbacks at the moment, it's the more, light-footed, nimble ones, compact ones that can just keep coming and coming and coming. The bigger ones like Turbo and Latrell and that, they keep getting knocked about too much. It's hard, very hard work. Even Edwards lately has been copying it, guys. He hasn't been playing all the games.
He's been injured his whole career.
That's it. Played
with broken feet in grand finals. And
there you go, guys.
Being the best on the field.
John Bryan, I think the big impact of the Dogs this year was losing both Kicks, Presto long term. Then Satilli was a huge blow. 3 best edge runners we didn't have. Also, Carraz, Critter, Tracy carrying injuries. We've done well to be still a shot for the 8.
Beautiful.
That's it, mate.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And we have to. But, yep, good summary, mate. Good summary. Bulldog Mike, Critter is more than just a centre, goal kicker, skipper and an inspirational leader, 100%. You can't sometimes put a value on that, guys. He's been here and he's galvanized the team since he's been here. If we make the 8, yes.
But Matt is right though. If we have to be getting value out of other areas,
correct,
to be able to sustain it.
Correct. That's right.
So everyone's right, to be honest.
That's it. All things right, guys. All things right.
All things right.
If we make the 8, I have more faith in our performance there than I do against the Dragons. As Gus and Mick said, we play well against the ones we shouldn't beat. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
Lorenzo, wish the Doggies beat the Dragons. Let's all hope so,
brother.
guys. I want to be bouncing around again. Voltana might turn out to be a gun as well. Our signing from Newcastle.
Voltano. Well, he's another state of origin, under 19 state of origin fullback. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're doing, guys. We're getting the young guys into our Raymond Peru under 19's Queensland origin fullback. Yep. There's plenty of combined high schools under combined high schools state fullbacks as well that we've got and halves. Yep. We are doing the job that all clubs need to be doing. And there's so much competition for spots, and it is hard. And sometimes you get a kid who's fantastic into your club, but he just doesn't like living here, or he just doesn't fit in. maybe some of the local juniors don't like them either, you know. But I think all we can do is keep doing that and try and develop these players and give them the opportunity. And remember Newcastle, they had Andrew Johns, Brett Camorley, Matthew Johns, and there's a bunch of others that come from that area as well at the same time. Then I think there's 3 or 4 halves of the same sort of era that ended up being in NRL squads, and that's the same with Penrith now as well. Like you got Cleary and Isaiah Gatoa and all Jerome Luai, and more coming through. Matt Burton, you know, just so much talent all coming from the one area. We've got Connor Vitano now. We've been interested for a while. Don't expect, like we can see the headlines now. Get rid of Tracy, bring Vitano in after he's played 2 games of New South Wales Cup against Manly or something. You know, they're going to develop these kids, and when they're ready to go, they're going to try and bring as many of them through together at the same time. And hopefully kids like AJ and Finau Latu and Underhill and Spinks are all playing, you know, their 2nd or 3rd year of NRL when all those kids are coming through, because that's going to make a big difference to our objectives. Let's go.
Mike Cool. Sorry I'm late. Good evening, Doggies fans. All Things Positive Bulldogs, featuring Dogfather Gas and Tim by our side. Love it, mate. Love it. Tim is always by our side, guys. If you noticed today, guys, in the startup video, Tim was now featuring in there, guys. So he's always in there now. Dogs have signed Vitano and Boston Burns as well, young players, a few years off NRL level. Thanks, Bulldog Mike. I asked last week, any chance of an evaluation of our off-contract players?
I actually did that in 8 minutes on the Dragons podcast because they actually asked me. And everyone they said, I thought we could potentially lose. So I don't think Sam Hughes will be at the club anymore. I don't think Jake Turpin will be at the club anymore. I don't think Zion Mayu will be at the club anymore. I hold out hope for Jack Todd. I hold out hope for Kurt Mann. Who else is off contract outside of those? Not too many more. But yeah, I don't see us keeping Hughes. Young Jake Turpin, as much as I love Terps, he's an animal. He just hasn't been on the field. And Zion got that really bad injury at the end of the year. And I just think that Jack's had I think they'll give Jack another go, but I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, it depends on some of these guys. A lot of it will depend on what we do with Presto as well, guys. So that how much we need to do to keep Presto could determine some of these other players being retained or not, especially with new teams coming in and some big money being thrown around. So for some of these players, it could determine that as well. G'day, Simon. How you doing? Cowboys lost last week. I think we might have enough chance against the Dragons. Yes. The Cowboys have already had the win this week, guys. They already got the bye. They're up 2 points. So we need to respond against the Dragons on Saturday. Connor did well in our Knights juniors. He would have been our fullback if he didn't have to wait behind KP and Sharp. You guys will have good success. That's Connor Vitano, guys, he's referring to. Thank you, Brenton.
Thank you, Brenton. Good to hear from you.
Yeah. Although it would have been nice for us to pick up maybe Sharp, maybe, mate. So that he could have. I'll tell you what, he would have been in the team already, mate, if he came as a mid-season.
Maybe.
That's not true. Is the best fullback ever. He's the reason why he is the best fullback ever. Okay. Thank you, Simon. We need to win. Yes, we do. We need Karaz doing what he does. If a couple of offloads go astray, it's better than no offloads. We need that second phase player. We're finished without it. But we need it also balanced across as well. So Kikau, Max King, there's a few players that have been good exponents of it. They need to continue to do that as well and try to – even Jethro, I mean, when he was playing, started to look for some of those as well. So it's something that if you're comfortable doing and you can do it, then you need to look for it as well, especially if the opportunity is there. Because the way that the players are set up behind it, as soon as it does come, bang, we're actually doing something with it, which is awesome. Hayward's on the ball, he's getting away straight away, etc.
It needs to be players that they don't expect. And a few weeks ago, they did that. Connor Tracy was offloading. Tuala was offloading.
Yes.
All these players that you don't expect to offload were offloading.
Against Melbourne, yeah.
Yeah. So we need to, and we said that last week, we needed some variation in it because they're all over our offloaders.
Yes.
We still did 12, but they just weren't good quality.
No, they weren't. That's the thing. They probably have to count completed offloads, guys. It's hard for young players that don't grow into the concrete centre of Sydney to live there when they've grown up in the open expanse of the bush, different lifestyle. Yeah, Brian, it is. It can be a big change, and Michael, you probably can attest to that, mate.
I can attest to that 100%.
Yeah,
to go from a place where nothing's open to go into a place where you can smell spicy Lebanese food everywhere, and you hear funny chants in this, and there's all these different places you're not used to, and like not everyone loves that stuff. Like they just don't. They're just not used to it. But if you grow up there, no matter whether you're from wherever you're from, no matter what color or whatever, you love it. You know, people who grow up in KMC love it, no matter where they're from. But if you come from the country, not everyone loves it. Some people do love it. They think it's amazing. Like just, never tasted, never had my senses and never experienced such great things. It just, life's so much more exciting than I thought it was, you know, shearing sheep and whatever else we used to do. The Abbey in the dams.
Yep.
By ourselves at 5 a.m. with our little puppy dogs. Back in the day.
I remember spending a week in Wagga in 1986.
They would have been saying some nice stuff to you driving past.
Wasn't very nice. No, it wasn't. wasn't very nice going up the main road, mate, of the shops there. It wasn't very nice. Jack Underhill, yep.
Well, Jack's been developing, mate.
That's it.
And he's finally got that debut. It's about bringing him in and out, and then giving them that next pre-season after they've tasted it, and seeing how much they can keep fighting for it, and seeing the levels they can keep going to.
That's it.
It's a development journey, and not all of them make it. I think he will, though.
Carraz's mistakes were just a flash in the pan. His potential and skill outweigh any criticism. I was just shocked at the field position he pushed to offload the ball. Get it up there, boys, first. That's right.
It's like they're prepared for it. They know it's going to happen.
Yep. Under
pressure.
What's everyone's ceiling dollars on keeping Presto?
Look, this is my thoughts on it. I think that if manager wants $1 million and club only wants to pay 800, I think Serraldo and Presto will choose each other over Gus or the manager. Just my opinion. I think that it'd be very hard for the club to rationalise with the fans. Like, they can't listen to the fans. That's clubs who listen to the fans fail at the end of the day when it comes to this stuff. If they don't, if it gets out there that he signed somewhere for 900 grand and it's not us, I think there will be a lot of pissed off people, like even more so.
Yep. If
it's less than that and he's not with us, it's going to be hard to talk to that. If it's like a 4 or 5 year deal for $5 million and it goes to another club, and we're like, we can get close to that, but can't do that. We're not going to do that. I can talk to that. I can justify it. Dave made some really good points looking at how many minutes and games players have played in our current squad and who actually provides the value and what they cost per game and what they bring to the team. I'm not going to divulge the answers to all of that, but a lot of the players that cop the shit are providing the most fucking value in so many ways. It's and some of the players that essentially glamorized, we probably need to get a bit more out of them. Some of them, and I'm not going to name them. All right, there's no need to, but. And look, all players bring different things. You sign this player, he attracts another player for your club. So that's extra value there. You buy this player and it puts this many thousand extra bums on seats, which brings value there, which allows you to invest in more juniors and bring more money into the club. So there's all these pieces. But if we're just talking about pure on the field in the NRL, that's all I was talking about. So there's different things to weigh up as well. But it's not always as it seems. So, how's me dog going down there? Hello, Dexter boy. Hello, he's a good boy. Oh, hello, darling. He's wagging that tail. He wants me to take him for a walk, but I'm not.
Agreed regarding retention, but we need to fill the roster spots too. That's right, Matty. If Presto goes, I'll be upset. Brenton the Knights is saying, sorry, boys, Sharp is not for sale. Sorry, mate. You've just disappointed me, mate.
Nah, we don't care. Vitano's better, mate. Vitano won't get injured as much.
You can take the next one, mate.
Aussie guy 7. They made some mistakes for retention. Oh, here we go. Breed Marnie left a big void at dummy half. Preston Burton signed us very huge fail of a year. We regressed quite a bit since 2025. No, we have gone a lot further because our depth is improving. We're exposing more and more young players. They're a lot closer to knowing the young guys that they want to keep. And we had too many players in our depth that were off to slow starts or injured throughout the year, which really put pressure on our top 30 to be able to rotate it the way they needed to. And they had to play some players injured that they didn't want to play. They weren't going to expose these youngsters before their time. And everyone that they put in come and did a good job. AJ played well when he played. Jack played well when he played. Jed Reardon did nothing wrong when he come on and played. Then you got your Harry Hayes, your Baileys. Lipoy did well when he come on. Right? Jeff Rowe's done really well as a youngster. John O did pretty good in a few games until he sort of made that mistake, didn't pass the ball to Cherry, cost us the game almost. Probably that's what he's thinking in his head. And he's thinking about it a week later when he's looking up in the footy and he's like, well, I better not jump up for it or I might drop it. Bronson Cherry with his head in the clouds in some games. Oh, there's a ball there, you know. Oh, where'd he come from?
Should have called for it.
Marcello's really struggled with his body this year. Reed Marnie wanted to go to North Queensland, mate. We didn't want to pay what they paid for him because it would have stuffed us up long term. Okay? And Bailey Hayward's come in an immense way this year, and we've got another young fella who's been doing his apprenticeships coming through, and he's still young in Freddie Lussick coming through. Plus this Kalen Patterson coming through. Bailey Myers is back from injury in Jersey Flegg. They got depth in these areas. They got to bring them through. Marnie was supposed to stay this year. We said it 1,000,000 times, but he was like, if you're not going to want me at the end of 2026, I don't want to be here in 2026. He said that before a ball was kicked in 2025. Aussie guy.
In the off-season.
7. We said it 1,000,000 times. And he should have been kicked from the club based on what his brother was saying about players in our team and stuff, what he was putting on social media, which I have copies of sent to me. Right? So he, getting drunk and supporting his brother, he wasn't telling him the whole story, obviously, either. Now, Gus probably did speak to his manager, who's his best mate in Sam Ayub, who has a lot of contacts in North Queensland. Sam Ayub, where do you think the two teams are? He's got the most players, North Queensland and Canterbury. Obviously strongly linked to both clubs. And Reed could get the money because Reece Robson was leaving. They'll say, oh, there's nothing to do with that.
Bullshit.
Yes, it fucking was. because he doesn't. It's like this. You show me how much you love me and want me, and it's like, well, the coach is like, well, we actually want to play Bailey off the bench a fair bit in hooker this year. We want you to help bring him through, and he could see what was going to happen. Sam would have told him what was going to happen. They're probably not going to keep you. They don't want to pay $600,000 for a hooker. They'd rather have 2 hookers on 300 and 200, for their depth. And then to get juniors coming through that'll play with value. If Preston signs elsewhere, I will be disappointed. I think it'll be a failure. But at the same time, usually every time I think that they've done the wrong thing in something, it's sort of turned out right. Going backwards for a season doesn't mean we're further away from a comp. We're closer to it. They make these decisions for a reason. They make these decisions for the long-term benefit of the club, not just to make you feel good on a Saturday with the NRL team. The club is bigger than the NRL team on the weekend. It is. It's bigger than that. It's past, present, future. And you have to sit there and weigh it all up. And sometimes it's just not going to go right, even when they expect it's going to go right. And people will lose their jobs on reviews and things will change, but not for tokenistic reasons, just to appease fans. Because you know what happened between 2008 and 2020? They stopped giving money to our juniors. They stopped investing in them properly. They went and bought Brett Morris. They went and bought all these players to fill gaps. They tried so hard to get Tedesco and all the Tigers players. Ended up taking Foran when he was busted. Ended up taking Sharon Woods. And he was good mates with Clement. Like, they thought that would work. I can see why they did that, but he just didn't fit in from the start. They just weren't making ground. They weren't getting stuff away. They went and got Michael Leisha, a young, good junior hooker from the Sharks, and let Ennis go. He goes and wins a comp there.
Mm-hmm.
When Ennis should have stayed, and we should have been developing a hooker underneath him. But we didn't do that. We didn't develop anyone for over a decade, and it put us back 20 years. Open your fucking eyes. When teams are sitting there winning comps and competing for comps and in top 4s every single year, the same thing that they've got in common is that the kids that are in their team all come through their juniors.
The nucleus.
You've got to have the nucleus and your core come from within, or you can't win. And they sit there and say, oh, the Bulldogs are trying to buy a comp. You also can't just grab the ones you've got if they're not good enough and just expect they're going to develop if you leave them there for 5 years.
You burn them out too quick.
Because you know why? Because it's the few fans that sit here and talk like this, who write these sort of questions, who sit there and hold them, we're going to kick you off the fucking board. Go and get us. That's why they went and spent $800,000 mid-season when they were trying to save money for a war chest on Luke Thompson from England. Because, we had James Graham. That worked. This will work. Because they were trying to fix our club, and they had a gun put to their fucking head and tried to help the club by giving fans hope. They get Gus in, who ignores the fans, buys the right players that slowly give us hope. And not just Gus, really good people in the board and getting the right people into our pathways and that sort of thing. Some real hard nuts. Some people that parents, there's some people in our pathways that the parents don't like. And there's a reason for that. Because they're hard-edged. And look, they do make some mistakes with some of the kids. Don't get me wrong, they do. 100% they will. But they'll make so many more right decisions that the club will continue to move forward. So we are a development club. And being a development club means you don't just go and put AJ, Jack, and put all them into start and just give the young ones a go. Maybe around 27 when you can't win, you give an Alex Connie a go off the bench or something like that. That's how they brought Ben Barber through when they were developing kids at the time. Kevin Moore protected that kid for 3 or 4 seasons. He would have played the whole 2020 season. Sorry, the whole 2010 season if he didn't, punch Jamal Indris in the face, which he would have needed a fucking ladder to do it. I don't know how he did it. But that helped. That stunted his growth. Then 2011, they played him in a few different things. In 2012, there he goes, Dally-M. Josh Reynolds, they developed him. But who after that? They bought everyone.
That's it.
They bought everyone.
Without those juniors, man.
Yourself.
Yep. Without those juniors, guys, you got to struggle to be competitive.
Am I a bit red or what?
Yeah.
Do I need to turn my colour down?
Country people can get overwhelmed in the city. City people get bored in the country. That's it, mate. Just driving in Queensland. Just driving in Queensland makes me not want to drive in Sydney ever again. Oh my God. If it comes down to Burton and Presto, who do we keep? I don't think we should break the bank to keep either. Priority should be fullback, and we can promote Spinks to replace Presto if needed.
Probably a really smart thing to say, and they might be thinking that. And he's not the only one. Chase Patterson, he goes good. The Queenslander. He had a great game last week, and his parents should be very, very proud of him, what he did on the weekend against South Sydney.
We can't pay $1 million, Brian, for Presto. It will stuff up our cap. If Presto gets 700 by the Dogs, I think he takes it. I think he might need a bit more, mate.
I think he might need a bit more, James. But
I think 900 would be maximum for me for Presto.
I understand.
I
said it that too.
Yeah, I understand managers are trying to get the best deal, but they are just being snakes against clubs. Yeah, mate. There's a lot of self-interest there as well, mate. So
a lot of the smaller managers too that are the worst, to be honest.
That's right.
Because they're trying so hard to get their payday.
Especially when you see the interactions of these managers with people in the media. They do, others wouldn't even entertain it. They just wouldn't even care to respond. But for them to stoop down to that level, it tells you that they're trying to justify themselves. And Michael's mentioned it a few times. Presto's manager has lost 2 big clients recently, and that there's a story in that as well.
Latrell and Kalen Ponga.
There you go.
And look, guys, I've actually seen text messages to some of the media in relation to this, and that's why I'm really unhappy with the manager. I wrote a really positive story early on that he's doing his job for his client, and I believe he probably thinks that as well. But there's a lot of media going backward and forward on this, and for most media, it's what's the easiest narrative? Oh, Gus is trying to undercut him.
Low ball. Yep.
He's the low ball.
Yep.
No.
Don't
Maybe
believe
he did
everything,
originally,
guys.
but that happened weeks ago.
Okay. James. Matty Warren to James. He ain't saying that for that. He'll get way more from PNG probably. And maybe even the Bears, because he's technically a Bears sort of youngster. If Presto leaves, I'll be devastated. Yep.
If Presto goes, he'll be going to another Sydney club, in my opinion. He's just moved out of house for the first time. He's been, living at home. He's had a girlfriend for a long time. I don't see him going to PNG. I really don't. I just can't see it happening.
Can anyone share how Fino Latu is going?
He's going well. It's that development journey, he played SG ball last year, right? They get his fitness up 1 week, they get his confidence up, get his fitness up playing prop. He likes picking players out of the line. He likes to get his hands on the ball and attack. He likes to do things. Get him in the cup. Goes all right there, runs out of gas. They send him back. Now, if Gus was pretty certain he was going to play some NRL this year, so obviously they've had a few little setbacks, and he did have a few injury setbacks as well. But yeah, they got him on a 3-year deal because they want to have these young kids doing good things
He'll be playing. He'll be playing finals this year anyway. So let's see how he goes.
That's it.
He'll be playing finals. Here's one for you, mate.
There's a peanut in every turd and a piece of corn. Who's the corn, Matt? Who's the corn? Dogfather, what is your dog name?
Dexter.
Dexter boy. Like, Dexter the serial killer. Kills bad people. Dexter kills bad. I shouldn't say it. Bad.
If letting go of money was a mistake, his management wanted out. How much were we supposed to pay to keep him? Please tell. Thanks, Brian. I think we've covered enough on him. James Oz guy.
Go, James. Get him, mate. Sick him.
You're wasting time here, mate. Take him or leave him. So Tawala can replace Birdo. Spinks can replace Presto. Hamiso at fullback. Where did he come from? I didn't realize we signed him. Is he coming? Is he on his way?
Hamiso is a type of player Gus would definitely entertain.
And Woods
he loves fast players. And
with Galvin in the halves, could that work? Yeah, mate, definitely. Speed is what we need. Speed. I am speed. Ziad, I think Presto, if he leaves the club, he'll go to the Roosters to replace Angus Crichton. Mate, if anybody can make it work, Uncle Nick, mate. Uncle Nick with his deep pockets.
Give him a nice little property.
Third party.
Nice little flat that they're all in the same complex.
Yeah. Yes. Overlooking, Coogee Beach there, guys, as they all are. Yeah, one little big community over there.
That's why they're called the Rauders.
That's it.
Nick, if he heard this, he'd threaten to sue you too. That's the type of bloke he is.
Thanks for humouring our post. I sent you 10 via Pay ID.
Thank you, Matty.
It's
another 10 in the draw. We're up.
Thank God,
140
Gus
to
has
go, guys.
righted our wayward ship. We were screwed without Gus fixing us. Yeah, people don't see it, guys. A lot of what I was reading this week to get rid of Gus and get rid of Seraldo, and they've cost us our season and done. No one's putting any blame technically like on the players. Everyone's on the performance. Everyone's just, that's it. These guys have screwed it up for us. Get rid of them. Like, anyway.
What about Ramona Lucas? She's out there. You heard from Ramona Lucas lately, Gus?
No.
Ramona? What's her name? Gus is fucked our club. He just like he destroyed Penrith.
Oh, yeah.
Would they come out to Penrith are the biggest valued club in the entire comp in Australia? Worth more than any other club.
That's it.
And that was before he left.
I'll take money out of my own pockets to keep Preston. Thanks, Mike. Keep your money, buddy. I'm sure they'll sort it out, mate. You really can't blame the managers
pay
right
ID,
now.
mate. I'll put you in the draw for a Prestomania jumper.
You can't blame the managers now. The market dictates the price, and it's a great time to be off contract, guys. 100%. November 1, there's going to be a lot of players going like this. November 1, guys. A bit of Jerry Maguire, show me the money happening. Bulldog Mike, 100% Mick. A balance of imports and juniors is essential whilst we set the pathways up.
And
that's right.
And Mike, you'd know that's what we've always built ourselves off. We're the family club because Peter Moore would go out there and buy them from everywhere, but he wouldn't go and buy superstars from North Queensland, or he'd go and give kids an opportunity from there, and then make them feel at home. And all of a sudden, this is great, and then they're winning and they're getting match payments, and then they're getting contracts, and oh my God, it's all working. Some of the greatest ring-ins have come from our club. The Ewan McGrady's, the Smith brothers from nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking so many of them. A couple of good pommies.
The disappointing aspect of our fans, according to Bulldog Mike, is bagging the players, the coach, and Gus on social media. So much so now Gus doesn't even give us updates on what's going on at the club. Mate, yeah. There you go.
Oh, Harry did say some nice stuff about Timmy, mate. I will say.
Yeah.
It's a culture. It's a culture, guys. People have a culture of just this is what you do. This is how you act. If you don't win, you should be winning. If you're not winning, you're losing. If you're losing, you change things. That's what our culture's become, and it's wrong. Stability wins. Stability.
If we do get Hammer, suddenly the Fox won't be the fastest man in the world. And don't forget that break that he'd made last time, and he got run down by Hammer. So he showed him up there.
I reckon Hammer could run down the fastest man ever if he had to.
Mm-hmm.
They reckon he just runs as fast as he has to.
Yeah,
run.
he looks like he's always got some reserve. He just glides across the field. Just love his style. Just crazy.
There's Usain Bolt. I better Bolt.
Yep. He'd be good on the relay, like as the third one, giving it to Bolt before he gets to the last. Does Hayward move to 14 and Lussick start at 9 next year? What does our bench look like? I think it's going to be the other way around.
I think they'll rotate them just to get them through the season and keep them fit as they can. I think that's what they'll do, and they'll have that ability to play in that small lockup position as well and play those roles. So
the year playing hooker has been amazing for Hayward. His passing has improved every single game. I mean, even from the first game this year where he hit that bullet pass for the in the 90th minute to get Critter in position to kick the field goal. That wasn't an easy feat. He's slightly off either way, and we don't get that game. So there's a lot of opportunities that he's had this year where he's iced and he's done well, and he's got his legs now going for 80 minutes and doing all those runs and that. And sometimes it is brutal on him, like against the Roosters. But as he's running more, he's going to pick that up, and it's going to become more of his game. If he feels like he wants to run more, he can start developing that into his game potentially as well, if that's the style they want to play. So,
and we said that on Sunday too.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. We had some news.
G-Dubs wasn't here.
We had some news on Cons on Sunday night. We had a family member of Cons come on there and tell us that he loved the club, but he's not. There's no decision being made yet.
There's no decisions.
So that was straight. Andy, Cameron Ciralda, and Gus I trust 100%, guys. 100%. Mike Cool, do we see Mann staying next year as a utility, or will he be a victim to the Perth or PNG? He's been very important for us these past 3 years.
I think he's wait and see, and the wait and see may come after him signing somewhere else. Yep. I'm a bit worried about that, but I think it's just the way it has to be. And I think that Gus would be very it's just my opinion. I think it'd be a case of he's probably got a chance to make more money than we're going to pay him. And if he wants to stay with his mates for another year for close to what he's on now, maybe a little bit less or the same, he probably can, but he could probably get a 1-year deal or a 2-year deal somewhere. And
he's definitely helped us in the last 3 years to do what we've done and get back to being a competitive team and to change the culture and the work ethic around, especially about being a tough defensive team. If you ever been to the training, guys, and you see him, he's hitting just as hard in training and doing and his energy as much as he's on the field, and that's not always easy to do.
And if you ever want someone to hold your hair back for you when you're getting sick in the toilets at a nightclub, he's your man.
There you go.
I reckon he'd laugh at that.
There you go. Matty Warren, right on Bulldog Mike.
Right on.
I think Zion is a chance of staying.
Be interesting because I think I don't know if there'd be a huge money out there for him, and he might be one that they can keep on a little bit less and keep his journey going. But
not homesick yet.
But we've got Logan Spinks coming into the top 30.
Top 30.
Jack Underhill should be going in the top 30. Hopboy's gone to Canberra. Looks like Sewer's gone. So yeah, there's few options there. We've got Freddie Lussick into the squad and Jesse McLean. So you go Cherry's out for McLean comes in. Freddie Lussick comes in, potentially Turpin goes out. That's, to me, they're all like for like.
Yep.
Spinks in for Curran.
I think Zion and Kurt Mann are not good chances to stay, personally. Brian, the hammer is very fast for a bloke that doesn't look like he's trying. Looks so effortless. Yes, he does, mate. It makes you jealous, doesn't it, when you watch him? He's like, you bastard. Hammer is now a $1 million+ player. There you go.
Easily.
Hammer might run fast until he meets Kickow.
Booyah.
That's it. Not if he's on the same team, mate, hopefully. We have too many guys in Cup that can replace Man.
Oh, they got to prove it, mate. They got to prove it. That's the problem. That's the unknown.
And Matty wouldn't blame killer Kurt Mann for taking a 1-year deal and getting a decent 2-year deal in PNG or somewhere else.
Yeah, that
Especially
could be
in
an option, actually.
Next year, guys, will be his 15th NRL season. So he's started young. He's been going strong for a long time, and he is a tough, resilient country boy. So
He's still quite quick.
Still quite quick. Yeah, still got that energy. If somebody's happy to use him for 20, 30 minutes a game at that impact level, then he's a good player for that, if that's what you're looking for. Let's have a look at the team, mate. Let's have a look at the team list Tuesday.
Oh, shit, I haven't even done that.
Let's have
What's been going across the bottom the whole game?
That's all right. Let's have a look at the I noticed that the Dragons have changed their team again this week. You can give us some insight on that, whether that's staying or changing. Is Atkinson playing fullback or not? What's happening there?
I don't know about that.
And while you're doing that,
here we go.
The money we save from breaking the bank on Birdo and Presta, we can afford to give Hammer $1 million. And I think, g'day Zachary. I think one thing they would love to take back was letting Alamonte go. We didn't let him go, mate. He didn't. He went for the same money somewhere else. He was on big money already for a junior as well.
He tried. Well, his manager tried to say he was meeting with Todd Payton after his third NRL match, meeting with a rival coach. Yeah, not good.
Killer's definitely at the stage he needs to do what's best for himself. And
Serrato wanted to keep him, by the way, just so everyone knows.
I will be going to the Bulldogs and Dragons game with Aki. That's right, mate. We'll be there. We will be there. Let's have a look.
Let's go through it. Done this today already. So they got Matthew Feeney, Moses Surley, Valentine Holmes, Terrell Sloan, Lycan King Tongia, and Kyle Flanagan. Critter Galvin, Tawala, Bronson Sherry, Matt Burton, Jacob Kraz, and Connor Tracy. Front row, Loco Jr., Pacifica Tonga, who's a very good talent. Maxi King, who loves a game against the Dragons. Hayward and Little, the cat and the... All right, that was for Timmy. Emre Gula, Leo Thompson, Dylan Egan, who I'm very impressed with. Almost as impressed as I am with Viliami Kikau. Hamish Stewart, another one who is a very good young junior. Jacob Preston, that'll be a nice lineup. These two kids have got a lot of heart, and you'd be happy bringing them through your system. Ryan Couchman and his brother, two very, very good players, and those two could be the first twins to ever play Origin in the forwards. It could be like Brett and Josh Morris. Jamin Salmon, who is doing a pretty good job. Probably struggled the last couple of games, I will say. But the team as a whole. Cook, I think, is better off the interchange bench for them. Jacob Halangahu, very good young talent that they expect to do big things. Jacob Wester, Setu 2, Josh Kerr. I think there's a chance Setu 2 comes back into their side. He did some pretty good things for him against Cronulla in that win. And Josh Kerr always plays well against the Dogs. And then you got old mainstays, Blake Laurie, Luciano Leilua, and AJ Jones's good mate, Cade Reed. So Cade met AJ in
round
I
one.
think in round one New
At
South
Belmore.
Wales Cup.
Oh, so, yeah,
Or round two.
round two in the NRL, but for us,
It cost AJ 2 weeks on the sideline because he knocked him senseless.
Yep.
So we've got Jackie Underhill, Jonathan Sewer, Jed Reardon. I think there's a chance one of those goes into this squad here. Not sure we need a Sullivan and Turpin in there. They might keep that happening, not sure. But I think I'd have to put money that AJ Jones is going to get a run this week. Like this, you can't go 5 in a row not playing after being named. That would be it's one of the downfalls of this system they've got. But I think I don't know. I actually like the idea to start, but I'm starting to think it's too hard to manage and too inconsistent across the teams. Team stats: 32-17 for the Bulldogs. We've kept this team in the bin longer than we've kept any other side in the bin, and longer than any team.
65% win rate. Yep.
Yeah, and they haven't beaten us since the Belmore game on that windy day and the high-scoring loss in 2022.
Currently on a 6-run against them, aren't we?
Yep, 6-game
winning streak, which is for all the Bulldogs and Dragons the second longest winning streak. So 7 is the longest between the two, and we're currently on 6. So we need to one more to equal what we did between 2003 and 2008.
All right, so let's go through. We've got to show you something now. We've got D's stat of the week coming up.
Go,
so
D.
let's hang out for that and listen to this. This is pretty cool. The stat of the week brought to you by Muzzle the Dog Productions, and got to have some fun, guys. It's been a tough week. Look, Dave's stat of the week as we look ahead to this Saturday's massive round 25 clash at Allianz Stadium. The St George Illawarra Dragons are staring directly into the teeth of the most brutal hoodoo in modern rugby league history. When the Red V run out on the tunnel on Saturday night, it would have been exactly 1,547 calendar days since they last tasted a single second of victory against the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, which is hilarious. Their last win came all the way back on the 28th of May, 2022 at Belmore. This is officially the single longest active head-to-head drought by calendar days across the entire NRL. So no team's had a bigger drought against anyone else. No other team in the competition has had to look at a calendar and wait longer for a revenge game than the Dragons have against the Bulldogs. However, no team in this competition has maintained a longer psychological advantage over a side as the Bulldogs have had over the Dragons. So what that means is that this Saturday, the Dogs aren't just hunting 2 competition points to keep our season alive. They are looking to extend their total multi-year domination over the Red V. Pretty amazing stuff. Thank you to Dave's stat of the week.
Thanks,
got some other stats here. Sam Cassiano holds the ultimate undefeated record against the Dragons, boasting a flawless 10 wins from 10 matches. Stephen Crichton remains perfect in 9 career attempts against the Dragons, securing 5 wins for the Bulldogs and 4 for Penrith. Jacob Preston follows closely with a perfect 6-0 record. Since joining the Bulldogs, Preston has never lost to the Red V. And he has the most wins against the Dragons with 6. Longevity in records. Aidan Tolman holds the record for most individual victories in this fixture, winning 13 of his 20 matches. Aidan Tolman, Jason Nightingale, and Jack de Belin share the ultimate durability crown, tied for the most appearances with 20 head-to-head games played in this fixture, Bulldogs versus Dragons. The current rivalry. Kyle Flanagan has struggled against his former club, failing to beat the Bulldogs in 5 attempts since joining the Dragons. Razor-thin margins define their recent history, with the Bulldogs winning their last 2 games against the Dragons by a combined total of just 3 points. The 2026 season, the Bulldogs have won their last 2 matches played on a Saturday, with an overall record of 4 wins from 7 matches in games played on Saturdays. The Dogs have 3 away wins from 10 this season, so that's been bad for us. But this is a neutral game where both teams are sharing the gate takes. We'll just have the visitors' changing room. The Bulldogs have won 9 matches from 17 night games, and games starting at 5. That's games starting at 5:30 p.m. or later, and their record in day games is 1 from 4 this year. See you there. So that was Dave's stat of the week, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Lots of good stats. Gas would have loved that. We know Timmy would have loved that.
Yes.
And I reckon that'll be sponsored by Timmy, our angel, watching us every single week.
Top 4 point scorers against each other, guys. Hasem, Jamie Soward, Zach Lomax, and then Matty Burden is number 4.
Oh, there you go.
So he's scored 20 points against them, guys, a couple of years ago, Matty. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you, Brian. Guys,
Yep.
You can jump on there, hit that like and subscribe and all that other stuff.
Hit it on YouTube. And look, we're $60 into a $200, which we've already got through twice already. Look, but we want money to go to Timmy's Celebration of Life, which will be, I'm told I'm going to get official stuff sent shortly, but it will be on the 28th of August. I think it'll be at Windsor. So we'll get details of that. Elaine's already done some beautiful things that she'll take to that as well. We got some beautiful images done, which she's put into some A3 frames, which she'll take down. We've also managed to, just a little segue, is already design and send away, and I've ordered a seat pad that was Gas's suggestion. So it'll be similar to the Bulldogs one you get that you just put over your seat and then clip it around the back, and that'll have Timmy's face on it and stuff like that. So that'll be Timmy's chair in the kennel, and we're going to give that that spot in the kennel every single game next year. For somebody to sit there if they wish and sit in Timmy's seat, as he would love to keep his legacy going always, which is what we want to do. Keep that candle going, guys. And I will pass on, again, I'll put in the comments and share around the GoFundMe. And I just want to thank you, all the cartel members and all the members who watched on Sunday, who gave out thoughts and prayers. I'm sure Gas might have said this at the start of the show. I wasn't watching. I couldn't because it was interfering with what I was doing on the other stream. But so many contributors financially as well that have come from this All Things Bulldogs family. And I'm so proud of you guys for stepping up and putting your money in your pockets when you could. And for those who can't 100% understand, it's not always easy. And usually there's just so many things we're supporting, and I totally understand. But for those people, if you can just go to the GoFundMe and share it to as many people as you can. I think the last thing I saw, it was about 200. How much is it?
Just over 1,800.
1,800 now. Beautiful. So
1,835, yeah.
It was like 200 the other day when we started. The person who created it put in a big donation of about 250. It's not about who does the most or whatever. It's whatever you can contribute is amazing. And
you can do anonymous too if you want to, guys. So
yeah. And a few people
doesn't have to be. Yeah, it doesn't have to be if you want to put your name or not. If you want to put anonymous, you can do that as well.
Yeah. So that's beautiful, guys. Thank you so much for that. And let's keep moving. G'day, Peter. Good to see you, Pete.
G'day, Pete.
Goat's been named to play again. We'll see how he goes this week, my brother. Round 1 in 2027. Look, I love the question. I said I was going to start looking into next year, and I think we sort of did that by looking at the players potentially off contract that may or may not be signed. But, yeah, a lot of water under the bridge. But I think that your Rinakamas, your Tualas, your Burtons will be there next year. I think Tracy will start there. Carraz, obviously, it'll be very similar. I just think we might see a Mitch Woods or an Alex Conti potentially closer to a start from earlier in the year than we may have expected. But we'll see how that goes. But I think by round 10 or 11 next year, if we've got those young fellas fit, there'll be plans to bring those kids in as quickly as possible. Let's keep going.
Matty Aki has done the ball boy apprenticeship a couple of times at Belmore. Yep, with the cup team. He needs some cheerleader action. Good luck with that, mate. I would have liked to see Sloan in the dog system. Pity he's going to Super League already. Look, he was up and down for a while, guys. The last few seasons, on the nose with the Dragons, etc. There was potential, some sniffing around of him, but the Dragons were reluctant to let him go. So I think the only reason they've let him go now is because he's going to another team outside of Australia. So do we see Latu breaking into the NRL next year? Potentially. I mean, he was, like Michael said, he was the call of Gus this year, but he could be someone that should be ready for next year. Brenton the Knight thinks that the Dogs will get 1 to 12 for this game. That's good, mate. I hope you're wrong. I hope it's more than 1 to 12, but yep, that's a good start.
We need to have a big win, but I can't see it happen.
We can do with his pace. I'm guessing you're talking about Hammer. We need to have a Timmy's positive thing of the week. Make it happen. Come on, guys. Here we go. Mike Cool. By the way, the only time we've missed finals in a year ending with 6 was 3 times. In 1996, when we finished 10th. 1966, we finished 8th, and 1956, we finished 7th. So we've only missed the finals 3 times in years ending with 6. So let's hope it stays as 3, guys. So that's what we've got.
All right. I've got the New South Wales Cup side up now, guys. And I really wanted to show you this. So Hallie Finau, Tom Kirk, Tyler Peckham-Harris, Tips Zagranis, Brad Mokos, Joey O'Neill, Cade Reid, Ryan Hutchison, Connor Mullison, Blake Laurie, Dylan Coots, Luciano Leilua, Matthew Alzim, Nick Quinn, Viliami Amone, and Cyrus Stanley Trail. They've also got a Wesley Pring in there. Don't know some of those guys, but I really want to show the Bulldogs because a lot of Flegg players in this week. We've got Cade Dykes, Nick O'Mealy, Sasai Latini back into the side after having a couple of weeks in Flegg. Eamon Fitzgibbon into the New South Wales Cup squad. And that's another young one that we've brought across with a lot of ability. That's nice and young. Joey Tayalpa and Alex Conti in the halves, which could be an indication that Sean O'Sullivan could have a real role to play this week. Lincoln Cliff into the starting, which is massive for him. Gordon Chan come Tong to start with Lipoi, Logan Spinks, Chase Patterson, who played really well last week, and Jack Todd. The man of the moment, Kaywin Patterson, Finau Latu, Broden Cons, and Angus Fahey, which that side does look a little bit different, I think, to the one that I had scrolling across. Maybe it's the same. They had Sheldon Hayward named as the other winger. So he's one that I think he's definitely got the goods for outside back depth in years to come. And Sasai Latini, I think, is another one off contract, or potentially he might be going into the 30. Don't know. Sometimes you don't always know that these young contracts where they end, because like Joey O'Neill was actually part of his contract was to go into the top 30 this year for the Dogs, and we weren't even aware of that. but then he obviously went to the Dragons so that they could bring someone else in. But there you go.
Andy, just a quick Andy, great stream, guys. I'm off for a pad thai up the doggies. Enjoy, mate.
Up the doggies, Andy. Love you,
the
mate.
world's longest holiday, mate. What's going on here?
Love it.
I will give a Timmy stat, guys. Timmy's positive stat. It's not so positive, unfortunately. It's the referee Liam Kennedy that we've got this week, guys. Liam Kennedy. He's refereed us 5 times. Only 1 win out of the 5.
Who was that against?
That was against the Rabbitohs in 2023.
Wow.
This year we had him for the Eels and we lost 38-20. So we had him in 2024 for the Panthers when we lost 16-10. And also we lost against Manly 42-24 in 2023. And the Eels again in 2023, 34-12. So yeah, 1 from 4. So
stink of that game.
So that's it. That's it, guys. So not very good. Yeah, but he's done a lot of touch judging refereeing, and he hasn't been good for us either on those guys. Yeah, our record is very poor when he's been around us. So hopefully we can turn that
Liam
around.
Sutton, his name is.
Yeah. Liam, I want to be Sutton, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be 2 this week. Let's go. That's Timmy's positive stat of the week.
That's it. Thanks, Timmy.
Double our winning percentage against.
That's it, Timmy. Love it.
Liam Sutton.
That's it. It'll be 2 from 6 after this, guys.
The young fella we signed from Manly, I'm struggling to remember his name. Well, we got Broden Cons, but did we get someone young from Manly?
Current or previous you're talking about?
We got Gordon Chan Kum Tong. That's probably scary he's talking about.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Thunder Calves, mate. That's Thunder Calves. Well done. Oh.
Here we go. The Mark Hughes legend. Is this? I think I know who this is.
Okay.
I know who I'm talking to.
Okay.
As soon as there's only one person I know who mentions Mark Hughes. But Mark Hughes is a Bulldogs legend, and Mark Hughes resigned while Gus was there, but that doesn't, as the recruitment manager, Mark Hughes didn't want to sign James Tamel and wanted to bring up James Fisher-Harris a bit earlier. That's what that was about. That's why, and he ended up leaving the club. That was the story that I've heard. Mark Hughes is a Bulldogs legend, and I'm pretty sure he's still. But does he want to come to the club? Like, who's doing? Has he said he wants to run it? Has he tried to run a ticket? Has he tried to get involved with the club? I don't know. I haven't really heard that. But I will say that all the Hughes brothers are legends of the Bulldogs. And Mark Hughes did have a big help. Gus has never taken credit that he was the person. All he said is that he went and hired the people to do the job. He's the one who hired Mark. So your argument falls apart right there because Gus has never said, "Oh, it was me." He's obviously formed a lot of connections with people at that club, including young players, their families, their managers, and all the staff that he sacked and then replaced with people like Mark Hughes. Or was Mark Hughes there before he was there? Who knows? If he remained there, he's obviously the right guy for the job, and he was kept there. It's the same with everything. There's always someone else in the picture at every organisation behind every success and every failure as well. So Gus is in the media. He's the one everyone knows. He's the one. Mark Hughes isn't copping any bullets for the fact that he didn't win a comp while he was there. Is he? And I reckon Mark Hughes might love our club a lot too, but of course he does. But yeah, for you to sit there and have this in your brain, obsessive thing in your brain, because I know who you are, that it was all about Mark Hughes. and not Gus. That I don't think Mark Hughes would agree with that either. I think and I actually seen a couple of podcasts with Mark Hughes once. It was really interesting to listen to him, and he's much bigger and stronger than that. He would never sit there and begrudge Gus's success over his own, or because anyone who's doing that, if they have to go and tell people that they were the real reason behind the success and all this sort of stuff, they're generally not the real deal anyway. But I will say that Gus has always said he goes and finds the right professionals to do all their roles the right way and to do them so well that they have to sack themselves in the end. That's what business is. Becoming so efficient and so good at what you do that you don't have to do it anymore. Does it itself. But anyway, guys, that was my thoughts on Aussie Guy's comment there. You still there, Gas? Or have you frozen? Looks like Gas is frozen. He's completely frozen. He just hasn't moved or said anything for ages. Great stat, Michael. Andy get to Chiang Mai. Thanks, G-Dubs. Clayton Fualo, potentially, but he didn't come to our team, so haven't seen him. Don't know what happened to Gas. He went bye-byes. But what's the time, guys? It's 10:21. You'll see down there, we've got Jersey Flegg playing, and there's Wesley Papali-Ofoa, who was asked about earlier in the stream. Roman Peru, Cooper Toy, who's been injured. Marcellus Iacopo played a lot of Cup. Mela Setu, Latrell Thing, Bronson Rubin, who's a champion. David Leota, Bailey Myers, Finel Farley, Sasefu Finau, Jaden Smith, Tristan Burns, Lachlan Mifsud, Patrick Carey, Alvin Chongney, and Mace Andrew. And then we've got the Ron Massey Cup. And that's their final. Tay Cochran, Michaeli Senabua, Josiah Ta'o, Paul Johnson, Jope Roke, Leif Dietrich, and Damon Humphreys. Corey Ackers, who we got from the Dragons. Jack Ennis, Mike's son, Mick Ennis's son. Mikhail Papali, Talanai, Azari, Toki, Matatori. They did well last week, both of them. Justin Matamua, too good for that grade. Lisiate Fioso, Nate Clark, Tyson Knight, and Baxter Warner, with a couple of players still to be added to that squad. Don't know where Gas is. Here he is. G'day, mate. Your laptop failed.
Yeah, it just actually started doing an update on its own. It just restarted. Just
Good
good
old
timing.
laptop. Mine's
old
actually
laptop.
due for one. I might actually do it after the show, so it doesn't happen at a bad time. But
Yeah,
we just got
it's all
through
right.
the Flegg team and the Ron Massey team, so we're pretty close to letting this go. Anything else you want to say, Gas?
Nah, it's just enjoying my last few minutes as a 49-year-old mate. It's been good knowing you all.
Oh, yes, your birthday tomorrow.
It's been good fun. Thanks, guys.
Happy
Over to the
50th
dark
tomorrow.
side now. Life starts again. It's the 50 is the new 40 now, right?
That's it, bro. You can tell
Life
yourself
starts
that.
again. That's it, guys.
Well, happy birthday to you, mate. I've sent you your pack, and Dave Miller, yours is on the way as well. With gases, so I've got to get one out to Lucas. So I think you've got Rhett's and Mike's, and maybe that's it at the moment.
Brian's
And Brian's as well. And you got to get the towel out to Maddie's granddaughter.
Yeah, and I've got some stuff for Lucas, I think.
I don't think you've got Lucas's.
Oh, something. I've got Flegg. Or what's the stuff I've got here? I've got.
You got the flag for Lucas. You're gonna have to mail
flag,
one
and then I think that a flag, a shirt, and a coaster.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Gas was so amazed by your response. He's frozen in time. Gas has been mucking up at home. Those were bars were for real. Wherever Gus has been as coach or football manager, there has been success, but apparently it's not because of Gus. It's in dispute of Gus or in spite. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Gas. D said that. And Breton Slick, the big 50 Gas. Well, we'll have a chat to you tomorrow, mate.
Well, we'll be on the podcast tomorrow night as well. So
that's right.
Apparently I've got nothing better to do, so I might as well just jump on another potty. It's all good. Just another day in the office.
So we'll get you guys to come and get stuck into the Dragons terrible 2 that we'll have on tomorrow. They'll be behind our enemy lines, and we will give them a good hard time. So think about all things that you can ask them and stuff. Try to be not too nasty. Just all good banter, guys. All good banter.
Keep it civil, guys. And I want a few of you to come with some Timmy questions as well, please. What would Timmy ask?
That's it. So stick around, guys. Now we're going to do the exit. Make sure you're here to sing the song with us. And I actually haven't watched this new video. I just uploaded it and hit start, and I had to go, so I actually haven't seen it. Oh, it's not actually. Let me fix it. It's not actually on there on the outro. Remove. I've got to fix it. Do. Lucky I remembered that. My brain's going all right. All right, people. Great to speak to you all. Happy birthday to Gas for tomorrow. Everyone's saying happy birthday.
Thanks, guys.
Don't worry. I sent him a merch pack, and I sent him his own personalised Dogfather jacket. With "Don't Break Defence" written down the front of it. So
hopefully my present comes on Saturday, guys, in the form of a Bulldog victory. That's all I want, guys.
That's all he wants. That's all he needs.
That's all I want. That's all I want, guys. Thank you. Just like Mariah Carey, all I want for Christmas is Bulldogs to win.
That's it, brothers. All right, guys. Great to see you tonight. Thank you so much. We keep going when the others disappear, and we don't make excuses. Love yous. Indiana Fever. Love CC22, my neck team. Score prediction. Bulldogs 26, Dragons 18. Sorry. What would Timmy have said, guys? What do you reckon he would have predicted?
I reckon Timmy would have been something like a 40-12 or something.
I don't know if it would have been that big.
He's been going big lately.
Yeah, I know, but I reckon he'd be, after last week, I reckon he'd be going a bit more conservatively. But
yeah, probably 32-6 or something, maybe. Who knows?
Timmy would have said 34-12.
Good old Timmy.
I'm on new team.
Yeah, Mike, I feel like I'm 30, mate. Don't worry.
You don't look a day over 49, guess.
Thanks.
All right, let's go. Go the Dogs. Sing it with us, Mike. Stay around.
Let's go, guys.
Sing the song.
Welcome to the show. All Things Bulldogs. Here we go. Yeah. Here we go. Blue and white pride. Bulldogs for life. Dogfather here. Gas by my side. All Things Bulldogs. Talking dogs tonight. to a show. All